Olson from the Maryland Zoo is joining us this morning, and with a wonderful animal. This is a kinkajou, right?
Yes, it is a kinkajou. They live from Central America into South America. They spend their entire lives in the tree canopies.
Oh, wow.
They have a long, slender body and very long, slender tongue that they eat nectar and primarily fruit.
I wonder if we can get her to kind of turn around.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get her over
camera.
here. Come on, girl.
And so her feet.
Yes,
something
her
pretty
feet.
cool there.
Well, as part of their way of navigating the tree canopies, they can turn their feet completely around in the opposite direction.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah,
And you
it
say
really
there's
is.
only one at the zoo. She's part of the...
She's part of our animal embassy, and
collection.
you can actually have her travel to your schools and community events.
Well, she is so neat. Look at her. Look at her little beady eyes.
Whoa.
And you say she's really strong, powerful. I mean,
They are very
I can't pick
powerful.
her up
Well,
or
they
anything.
live their lives. They live their lives in the tree canopies. So you have to have strength, and they have a prehensile tail, which also helps them anchor and maneuver about the tree canopies.
Wow.
It's like an extra appendage.
She is amazing. And it's part, what family is she
They
part
are
of?
in the raccoon family.
Okay. Wow. How much does she weigh?
She weighs a few pounds.
Yeah.
Come on, girl. Come on over.
That is so neat. Look at her. All right, so you guys got a lot of things going
We
on
have
at the
a
zoo right
lot
now.
of things
Earth
going
Day,
on.
let's talk about that first.
Well, we have Earth Day. It's Party for the Planet. That is today. Our education department has gone all out for a wonderful event to learn how to make the world a better place. It's going to be a lot of fun. We also have coming up on May 6th, we have a junior safari photo workshop. And that is going to be absolutely amazing. It's from ages 8 to 14, all skill levels. Registration and fee payments, all of that are on our website at the zoo. You'll get an educational tour.
Okay.
And you'll also learn the basics of photography and tricks of the trade to take really amazing animal photographs.
Okay, and registration and fee for that event, you could just go onto the zoo's website,
Go onto the
right?
zoo's website.
All right, what else is going on?
We also have All About Bees workshop and learn how, the Maryland Zoo is working with local bee populations and maintaining the health of local bee populations, and also get behind the scenes of the zoo's own beehives.
Okay, and that is Sunday, May 13th?
That is
And
Sunday,
then
May 13th.
Brew at the Zoo.
Brew at
Quickly
the
on
Zoo,
that.
our biggest fundraiser of the year, and 80+ beer samplings, commemorative glass, live music, bands, artisan vendors, food, free admission to the zoo, and VIP packages are available.
Okay, and that is May 26th and 27th.
That is.
Thank you so
Yes,
much for
thank
coming.
you.
All right, time now, 9:27 coming up. We're going to take a look at our top stories.
A carjacking in an elementary school parking lot in Baltimore County. I'm Karen Campbell. Find out who the victim was and who police say they are looking for.
Quiet and cool this weekend, but we do have a little rain in the 7-day forecast. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
local, late breaking. This is WBAL TV 11 News Saturday morning.
And welcome back to 11 News Saturday morning. I'm Jen Franciotti. Thanks for joining us.
And Theo Hayes. We're going to get to our top stories in just a moment. First, though, a look outside with Tony, and there's a lot of sun, but
yes, it's cold again. Yeah, it was cold enough to snow, but it didn't this morning.
Thank
Good.
goodness.
Yeah,
It
that's
that
did
going for
other
us.
times this week.
Positive spins here. Positive.
All right, good.
Yeah, it got down to 32 at BWI this morning, believe it or not. It's in the 40s right now, so you'll still need a light jacket if you're stepping out here in the next couple of minutes. It's 45 in Westminster at the top of the hour. We should get close to 60 this afternoon. A mixture of sunshine and a few clouds. We'll say upper 50s and low 60s. Normal high is 67. We'll check the 7-day forecast going all the way close to next weekend when I come back in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Tony. Baltimore County Police are looking for 4 suspects after a pregnant teacher was attacked and carjacked on her way out of school.
it happened around noon yesterday at Villa Cresta Elementary School in Parkville. That's where we find 11 News reporter Karen Campbell joining us live with the very latest. Karen.
Well, good morning, guys. You know, police say they're looking for 4 teenaged girls, something that they say is unusual, and that this happened here in the parking lot of this school. And police say it happened around 12:30 again. This happened on Friday. This teacher was walking to her car when this actually started when the teens decided to come to the school and say that they wanted to enroll someone in the school, but they were buzzed in and spoke to someone at the front office. Now, police say typically anyone who enters the school, they're required to sign in and show ID, but these teens did not. That's when the suspects encountered the pregnant teacher in the parking lot. Now, police say they knocked the teacher's cell phone out of her hand as she tried to run away. That's when they stole her purse, her car keys, and then her vehicle. And police say that teacher suffered minor injuries.
You still worry about the baby and make sure the baby's okay. And it's just scary if something like that happens around here. You just don't know what's going to go on anymore.
Now, that stolen vehicle police are looking for is a 2013 black Kia Sportage. Investigators have not released the descriptions of those teenagers yet, but we are still awaiting that information. And of course, anyone with information, police want to hear from you. We are live this morning in Baltimore County. Karen Campbell, WBAL TV 11 News.
Thank you, Karen. Police are investigating a shooting in Baltimore City. Just before 10 yesterday morning, police were called to the 1000 block of Parksley Avenue for a reported shooting. Responding officers found a 21-year-old man suffering from a gunshot wound. Upon further investigation, police determined the shooting actually happened in the 3200 block of Benson Avenue.
Well, the ATF is doubling the reward money for information leading to the arrest of 3 suspects considered armed and dangerous. Authorities are looking for Travis Alewine, Devin Cherry, and Terrell Luster, who were indicted by a grand jury almost 2 years ago. That indictment alleges they were connected with the so-called Hillside Enterprise, which is a violent drug gang that operated in Baltimore's Cherry Hill neighborhood. Officials say they're all facing murder charges. The ATF thinks these men could still be in the area. They have increased the reward to $5,000. Anyone with information should contact the ATF.
3 people are recovering this morning after a car struck an MTA mobility bus. MTA police say it happened just before 9 yesterday morning in the area of Wilkins Avenue and Valley Road in Catonsville. 3 passengers on board the bus were taken to a hospital for treatment. They're expected to be okay. That crash is under investigation.
Some new developments this morning in the investigation into an engine failure on board a Southwest Airlines flight. The FAA has issued new emergency inspection recommendations for all planes that use the same engines involved in that deadly accident. Reporter Camilla Burnell has the latest.
The Federal Aviation Administration is giving airlines 20 days to check CFM56-7B engines, the type of engine that failed and forced Southwest Airlines Flight 1380 to an emergency landing in Philadelphia.
All of a sudden, like, the plane just dropped, like I've never experienced before.
The FAA says 352 engines in the U.S. and 681 engines worldwide have to be checked by a certified mechanic, all in hopes of preventing another tragedy.
We all thought we were going down. I thought this is it. In fact, the first thing that I did is I started praying.
The new FAA directive comes as investigators look into Tuesday's Southwest engine failure. It requires this type of engine to be inspected after more than 30,000 takeoffs and landings. The engine manufacturer is also recommending that by the end of August, engines be inspected after going through 20,000 takeoffs and landings. After the initial review, they recommend engines be checked every 2 years.
You know, I was scared but I knew that my God was going to take care of me one way or another.
In addition to the FAA requirements, the airline also hoping to ease tensions. Southwest sent passengers on the flight a check for $5,000 and a $1,000 travel voucher in hopes that it will restore confidence in the airline. I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
In our State of Addiction report, Senator Elizabeth Warren and Congressman Elijah Cummings introduced a bill they say will be a major tool in fighting and ending the opioid crisis in the U.S. The Comprehensive Addiction Resources Emergency Act, or CARE Act, is modeled after the bipartisan Ryan White Act, which took federal funds and local leadership to take the AIDS epidemic. In this case, the CARE Act will cost $10 billion a year for 10 years, with that money going to the hardest hit areas. Cummings says, unfortunately, only about 10% of people are getting the help they need, resulting in about 115 deaths a day nationwide.
If a person has cancer and you walk in, the doctor comes in and he says, look, only 1 out of 10 people can get treatment, the Congress would go crazy.
Cummings says he's hoping to get this bill or a version of it passed sooner than later.
Well, bunion surgery, usually a long and painful process, but now there's an alternative. Our woman's doctor has details still ahead.
In theaters, a new comedy starring Amy Schumer with limitless self-esteem. Lauren reviews I Feel Pretty.
It's a little chilly this weekend, but at least you'll see plenty of sunshine. That won't be the case next week. We'll check the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Your WBAL TV 11 weather forecast with meteorologist Tony Pan.
Welcome back. Good morning, everyone. Once again today, the temperatures managed to dip below 32 degrees in many places, especially north and west of Baltimore. And you don't need me to tell you that's pretty unusual for this time of the year. And it looks like this chilly weather pattern is going to continue for a while, but it should stay quiet. That's the good part of the forecast. 46 at the airport right now after bottoming out at 32. And another piece of good news, the wind calm at the top of the hour. It's not going to be as windy as the last couple of days, so we don't have to calculate wind chills, at least out there. It's 45 top of the hour in Westminster, 46 in Easton, and 44 degrees in Chestertown over on the eastern shore. Temperature should make it into the upper 50s and low 60s this afternoon. This is our next weather maker here in the central part of the country, producing some snow in the Rocky Mountains and thunderstorms in the southern plains. It's going to take its time getting here. It's going to move very slowly to the east, so we should stay dry through the weekend, probably into Monday before things change a little bit during the middle of next week. So initially there's not a whole lot to talk about here on the Futurecast. We'll set the time frame into tomorrow morning. You notice a few high thin clouds showing up there. Those clouds will keep the temperatures a little bit warmer tonight than the last couple of nights. It's still going to be chilly on Sunday morning, but I don't think the temperatures get down to freezing to start the day. And with a mix of sun and clouds in the afternoon, we should again sneak into the low 60s. Jump ahead to Tuesday. This is the long-range Futurecast from the European model. You notice the computer thinks there'll be plenty of rain headed our way. And once the rain arrives, it's going to stick around for a while, off and on, all the way through Thursday. So the forecast for today, a mixture of sunshine and a few clouds, mostly sunny. High temperatures, upper 50s and low 60s, normal high 67. Tonight becoming partly cloudy, not as cold as last night, upper 30s and low 40s. That's still below normal. 7-day forecast going through the weekend and into next week. Expect a high of 62 on Sunday, a day very much like today. A little warmer on Monday, 65. Off and on showers start Tuesday afternoon, last through Wednesday and into Thursday. It's not going to rain the whole time, but off and on showers likely those 3 days before it clears up on Friday.
All right, well, time to take a look at what is new in theaters this weekend.
Our film critic Lauren Veneziani joining us live on Skype from LA. Thanks for getting up so early to be with us, Lauren.
Of course, you know that I will never miss an opportunity to talk about movies, and it's not too bad out here. I didn't have a super late night last night. It's around 6:40 a.m. here, so it's okay.
Oh, okay,
I'm
so
out
it's
here
not
for
bad.
the Avengers Infinity War world premiere. I'm going with my husband on Monday, so I'm super excited about that. I'm wearing my Captain America shirt.
Awesome.
This is like one of my most anticipated films, so I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, can't wait to hear your review of that. But in the meantime, you sat down with Amy Schumer for her new movie.
Yes, so Amy Schumer and Rory Scovel, her co-star, came to DC a couple weeks ago to talk about I Feel Pretty. And I Feel Pretty is about a woman named Renee, who is played by Amy Schumer, and she's struggling with confidence, she's struggling with self-esteem, and the whole message of the film is like about beauty coming from within. We don't actually, as the audience, see what her character sees after she hits her head after a Soul Cycle class, and then all of a sudden she says, "Oh, I'm beautiful." So let's take a look at the clip from the interview and just see what Amy Schumer had to say.
Are you okay? You hit your head pretty hard.
Wait, that's me. That's me. Oh my God, you see this?
Yes?
I'm beautiful!
I love the choice that Renee, after she hits her head, the audience doesn't see what she sees after she thinks that she's like, oh, now I'm all beautiful. Yeah. And I was wondering if that was always going to be the for sure thing they were going to do from the beginning, or if that's something that was kind of talked about throughout the process, because the audience doesn't see what she's seeing after she hit her head. And I think it resonated more with the message, but I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about that choice.
Yeah, that was really important to everybody involved from the jump. I think at one point someone was like, well, what if just once we didn't? We were like, no, it's really important that we don't. And that was one of the early decisions that we matched up on that felt like really important. Like, okay, we're going to be good collaborators.
So yeah, Amy was a pleasure to talk to. Really cool that she came to DC. And this is actually a film where after I talked with the talent, I ended up really liking the movie as well. I think the message is really great. I know a lot of people were kind of struggling, you know, with the message of the film, but I personally thought it resonated really well. Adie Bryant from SNL also stars. Busy Phillips. Michelle Williams is in a supporting comedic role, which is like very rare. She's absolutely great in the film. And Rory Scovel, who plays Amy's love interest in the film, is also great. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. Love the message. Thought it was super funny. And I don't think it's as good as Amy Schumer's film Trainwreck, but I do really like this film. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I think like go with like your girlfriends. It's just like a really fun like movie. It could be a fun date night movie too.
All right, sounds good.